Hey, welcome back to Cool Classics. Today we're going to take a look at the life and career of Larry Storch, who played Corporal Agarn on F Troop. There's some freaky facts here that you're going to find interesting. I got some really awesome clips, so stay tuned. Here we go. He was born Lawrence Samuel Storch, January 8th, 1923 in New York, New York. His father Alfred was a realtor, and his mother Sally was a telephone operator. He attended DeWitt Clinton High School in the Bronx, but growing up throughout his school years, he was always in classes with Don Adams, who played Maxwell Smart on Get Smart, and the two of them were lifelong friends. Larry says that the Great Depression was really hard on his family, and that in his senior year of high school, he dropped out so that he could go to work. In those days, if you had a chance to go earn money, you didn't pass it up for anything. He said that growing up in a tough New York neighborhood made him sort of a wise guy, and he would crack jokes at you or be quick with a comeback. Now, the neighborhood was very multi-ethnic, so all of his friends had accents, and he would pick up on these and almost became multilingual just from his surroundings, and that helped him develop these little comedy routines that he would later do in vaudeville, that where he would just play like a Frenchman or a Spanish person, and it's because that's what he grew up with. So during the day he would be busy at work, and then in the evenings he would go down to vaudeville houses, and there they would sometimes pay him to come in and do impressions. And from there it just developed into an entire stand-up comedy routine.
You know, there is a rumor, how it get around I don't know, but there is a rumor that we French drink wine. Well, this may be, this may not be. But the new drink of France is going to be milk. Milk is very good for you. You all know that, no? So we drink a toast to milk. Là, ça rien dit. Yeah. You see how good that make you feel?
In 1942, he enlisted in the United States Navy and stayed there to 1946. During this time, he was on what you call a submarine tender. It's the USS Proteus, AS-19. It was a ship that goes out into the ocean and meets up with the submarines, so when they surface, they can resupply them. And he was on there for 4 years, and on board with him was Tony Curtis, and the two of them became great friends. After his time in the service, he returned to New York City, where he would perform on Broadway and do his stand-up comedy routines in nightclubs. And then one day he was invited to be on the radio show The Kraft Music Hall because they needed someone to sit in for Frank Morgan, who wasn't feeling good. So he went out there and did his star impersonations of the time, and he even did one of Frank Morgan himself, and they loved it. Now, the producer of that show needed someone to do a TV show. And now remember, TV was live back then. And he was like, okay, what do we need? And they go, well, Jackie Gleason has to take the summer off. We need someone to do 15 episodes. We need them written, performed, live, on the air. And he went and kind of developed it with them really quickly. And they put it out, The Larry Storch Show, 1953. 15 episodes, live on the air.
And to begin with, from my part of the show, a great joke. That's what I need right now, a great joke. But I come from New York.
Everything went smoothly, and he really started to get noticed now. He got to appear in the movie Stalag 17, but it was uncredited. That's your Hogan's Heroes connection. You always wondered how F Troop and Hogan's Heroes could connect. There you go. He was in Gun Fever, the movie, playing Amigo. Again, these are because of his accents and impersonations that he would do. Then it was on to the Phil Silvers Show and Ed Sullivan Show. People wanted him. And one of the industries that took notice of all this was the cartoon and animation industry. They came knocking, and he started rocking. It all started when Max Fleischner hired him to be the voice of Coco the Clown in his cartoon. And he may have done 70 of those within 2 years. 1963 to 1964, this just blew up for him. He even did some work with Mel Blanc. He was doing a Sabrina the Teenage Witch cartoon, playing 3 characters on there, Hagatha, Drac, and Ratso. And then Pink Panther. He was the Englishman who was the narrator. Yeah, Larry Storch.
Good day, sir. I see you're relaxing. Taking it easy. It doesn't bother you that you're wasting time accomplishing absolutely nothing, that others are getting things done.
And if that isn't crazy enough for you, well, he played the voice of the Joker in the Batman Superman hour that started in 1968. Listen to his laughs. Okay, that last one got me. Now this next freaky fact is kind of shocking to me. Are you ready? For a lot of us, the first time we ever heard a Cary Grant impersonation was when George Lindsay, who played Goober Pyle, did this.
Listen to this. He's gonna take off on Cary Grant. Go, Goob. Judy, 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 Judy. Couldn't you just swear Cary Grant was right here in this room?
Now, according to Cary Grant, he said this whole thing started because Larry Storch used to do an impersonation of me and say Judy, Judy, Judy during it. And from then on, it just caught on and everybody else would say that. The funny thing is, I never actually said those lines in the movie. Now, his good friend Tony Curtis, whom he spent all that time with in the Navy, was also making it big time. He was actually making movies. So he would get Larry to appear in a movie 7 times in a row. Yep, it started in 1960 with Who Was That Lady? Then 40 Pounds of Trouble, then Captain Newman, then Wild and Wonderful, then Sex and the Single Girl, and then The Great Race. Yep, 7 movies in a row with Tony Curtis. Then in 1965, after an appearance on Gilligan's Island, episode Little Island Big Gun, he landed the role of Corporal Randolph Agarn on the new series F Troop.
Corporal Agarn?
Is that you, Captain Parmenter?
Yes, I heard you were ill. I thought I'd come and see you.
Oh, I ate some of the leftovers from the beef stew last night.
You should go see the doctor.
Well, you have to pull yourself together here. Stand up. Stand up. Ah!
What? Where does it hurt you?
My foot. My foot! You're standing on my foot.
Oh, sorry.
Doctor! A doctor! A horse doctor?
The only medical man we have.
Lift up your foot.
Lift up your foot.
Now, let me see that stomach. See if you have any fever.
Very sensitive around my ears.
Open up your mouth. Open up your mouth. Yeah, ooh, white.
Now this show was just great. Now Larry played other characters on the show, so sometimes instead of having like a guest appearance, it would just be him dressed up as someone else. Here's a clip of him playing his own cousin, the Mexican Bandit.
Stop already with the shooting! It's not New Year's Eve.
Who is the chief of this tribe?
He is.
El Diablo does not rob the poor.
Shake hands with the chief.
Where I seen you before?
Agarn!
Agarn?
Corporal and F Troop, same size, same color eyes, same nose. Very stupid.
That's my cousin.
Smartest soldier at the fort. Go back, same trail you came. Make right turn at big rock that look like bear. Then make left turn at big bear that look like a rock.
Diablo will find it.
God, I get all carried away making these videos. I end up binge watching stuff. So like now, I'm a super fan of F Troop. You can't put anything past me. Now Larry went on to appear in all 65 episodes of F Troop, along with many TV shows of the time. He actually got to appear on Get Smart with his high school buddy Don Adams. Yeah, he played the guru.
So you take your cue from the groovy guru and listen while the sacred cows lay the big message on you. Go, man, go!
All right, Guru, that's it. The show's over. Stop the music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, how do you like that? Getting knocked out by your old school chum. Now, he ended up playing on all of the sitcoms of the time. Car 54, he played in a few episodes as Charlie the Drunk. They were great. You need to look those up if you want to laugh. He was on I Dream of Jeannie. They were going to send a chimpanzee into space, but Jeannie turns it into a human. So what's the human form of a chimpanzee? Well, Larry Storch, of course. He was on Gomer, Pyle, The Flying Nun. All the way through the 70s, he was in all the sitcoms. All in the Family was a good one. He also did his tour of duty on all of the regular shows that everyone else did. Love Boat, Fantasy Island, Chips. He was on Columbo and Mannix, and then a couple rare ones that I gotta look up and find. He was on The Fall Guy and Knight Rider. Not everybody appeared on those shows. Larry's television appearances and voiceover work carried on pretty strong all the way through the mid-90s. Now the show Married with Children, it had a lot of F-Troop references. I remember Al one time saying, "Oh, Peg, I just want to stay home and watch F-Troop." And in this one picture you see right now, Kelly's wearing a Larry Storch school shirt, and they referenced F-Troop and Larry Storch a lot. And then the episode, Something Larry This Way Comes, Al Bundy gets to meet his idol, Larry Storch. Isn't that cool? You need to go watch it. Okay, stop the presses. I just looked at my notes and I had forgot something. Yes, I'm taking notes because I do forget stuff a lot. I just start rambling and trying to recall it, and it all falls apart by the end. So this time, I got it. In 1975, Larry teamed up with his old F-Troop partner, Forrest Tucker, and they appeared in 15 episodes of a new series called Ghostbusters. Yeah, there's 3 of them. You had Spencer, you had Tracy, and you had Kong. And guess what? That was reference to Spencer Tracy, yeah, the actor. And so it went for 15 episodes. It was a comedy directed at kids. And you say, Ghostbusters, 75? That's before the real Ghostbusters. Any similarities? Well, they say no, but they did pay a licensing fee to use the name from them. Plus, the 3 of them would go out on calls to ghostly appearances and try and catch them. I never heard anything about this, so this blew my mind too.
Hey, what do you know about that? A baseball bat!
Now, in 1961, Larry married Norma Catherine Grieve, and the 2 of them stayed together until her passing. They had 3 children together, and she could often be seen with him on the road when he was traveling around to meet and greet sessions. And here's a picture of the 2 of them with Melody Patterson, who played Wrangler Jane on F-Troop, right in the middle. Here's a clip of Larry and Melody at a meet and greet session. And I made a video on Melody Patterson and Wrangler Jane. You're going to want to check it out if you want more F-Troop facts and some more good Larry Storch video clips, because they're in there. Now Larry has a quote. He says, "Edward Everett Horton said to me, 'Promise me, Larry, you will never grow old.' And I've tried my best to use that advice." So up into his 90s, Larry would still randomly appear at comedy clubs and go out there and do his impressions.
You remember Rodney Dangerfield? Roll respect. I don't get roll respect. My wife likes to have sex in the back of a car. Wants me to drive.
And now for my favorite part of this video. As of July 1st, 2021, Larry is still alive. He's 98 years old and doing good. That is awesome. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out the Wrangler Jane Melody Patterson one. Look around the channel. Please subscribe. Hit like. I put a lot of effort into these. They take me a long time. I'm having fun. I'm doing it because you like it and because I love it. Cool classics.